Hey everyone, Kyle here. Okay, so if you're caught up on True Detective like I am, you probably have a lot of questions about who the serial killer really is. Well, I have one theory that I think is pretty convincing. You'll notice there have been a lot of references to the Yellow King throughout the show. It's mentioned in Dora Lang's diary, by the drugstore robber in the interrogation scene.
I'll tell you about the Yellow King.
So who is the Yellow King? I've heard theories that it might be a member of the Tuttle family. There are some people who think it could even be Detective Marty Hart. But I think the Yellow King might be this big yellow man dressed as a king who we've seen several times throughout the series. Now bear with me, I know this is not a popular theory, but think about it. While we haven't learned much about this character, what do we know? His skin and clothes are all yellow. Yellow. Just like the Yellow King. He also looks like a king and is wearing a king's crown. Blink and you'll miss him, but he's there. I like to call this the Yellow King theory. This theory speculates that maybe, just maybe, the Yellow King the show keeps referring to is in fact the Yellow King we've seen throughout the show. Now, the show has dropped a lot of clues so far. You've probably all noticed the crown on the fast food restaurant sign behind Rust while he's driving, the crown Marty's daughters are playing with in episode 5, the Yellow King who seemingly works in the police station with the detectives. All these clues matter. So creator Nick Pizzolatto has been very vocal in saying that all the answers on this show have been set up in the first episode. Well, in the first episode, if you look closely, you'll notice the Yellow King is here, here, and here. Now, one scene that's been getting a lot of buzz is the long take at the end of episode 4. Obviously, this sequence stands out for its incredible camera work, but something I think is very interesting is that you can see the Yellow King character exactly 45 times throughout the raid. What's he doing there? I expect we'll find out soon. Pay attention closely here to what Rust says about the nature of time in this scene.
But outside of our space-time, from what would be a fourth dimensional perspective, time wouldn't exist.
Do you see that? That's the Yellow King standing behind him. It's important to note the Yellow King is present in the 2012 timeline. Granted, he has aged. Here he has a long gray beard and is wearing glasses, but there's no doubt that's the same Yellow King. And here in the sex scene between Rust and Maggie, there he is again. You know, once I started watching the show through this lens, everything changed. You notice clues everywhere. I'm someone who watches TV with a careful eye for detail, so as soon as I heard someone mention the Yellow King, I thought, why does that sound so familiar? So I went back and I watched the intro to the show. Notice here, in the opening credits, exactly 56 seconds in, what does that look like? I think that looks like a Yellow King. Now look, I love this show. It's dark, it's sexy, it has a Yellow King. McConaughey and Harrelson are in top form. I think this theory is going to pay off as a pretty big twist in episode 8. And frankly, if you disagree, then fuck you. You're a fucking idiot.